How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to talk to you about why you should own 0.22 Bitcoin. Now, of course, if you can buy more than that, that's great. Of course, you should do your own research too, because I am not a financial advisor, but I want to take you through some very important numbers here today. Now, if you like this kind of content, if you like me throwing out numbers and projections and things like that, there is a playlist that I will put up on the end screen that shows how much Cardano to own, how much VeChain to own, how much Ethereum. Also, I'm making one on BNB here soon. So if you guys want, you can check out that playlist on the end screen. But today we are looking at Bitcoin. So if you guys don't mind just hitting the like button, I really appreciate that. Also, while you're down there, if you guys don't mind hitting subscribe, if you haven't done that already, I love making these kinds of videos. I think it's fun to take a look at the numbers and project out a little bit. This is the geeky stuff that I really like doing. Now, while you're down there, in this scenario, we're going to take a look at it. Interest is very, very important. BlockFi gives you an interest on your Bitcoin. So if you guys want to really make it a lot easier on yourself over the long term, you should check out BlockFi using that link down below the video. It will actually give you an interest rate on your Bitcoin and on your other cryptocurrencies too. And you get a bonus for signing up and starting up on the platform depending on how much you put in there. Now, if you guys want to see what I'm buying every single day, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. So, what is Bitcoin? Why would you be excited about it? How much do you need to own? Let's take a look at all that kind of stuff. So, Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency. It's really the most well-known one too. It's the largest market cap, and a lot of people are starting to believe in it. There are companies, billion-dollar companies, that are investing a significant amount of money into Bitcoin. Now, why are they doing this? Well, there's a limited supply of Bitcoin. It's trustless. It's on the blockchain. So there's a limited supply. Governments can't just go out there and decide, we need some more money. We need to create a new stimulus. We're going to print more Bitcoin. No, that's not something that's possible. You can see inflation went up to 5.4% recently this last month. So a lot of people are wondering, okay, how can we hedge against this? We're losing money all the time due to inflation. Everything's getting more expensive. How do we protect ourselves in the future so that we don't get our currency devalued? Bitcoin is a solution. So what happens is there's a max supply of 21 million. Some of it has already been lost. Some of it's already been mined. So right now there's over 18.7 million that's already been mined, but some of that's lost. You see stories about different people losing 100,000 Bitcoin on a thumb drive. People used to not really value it as much as it's valued today because it was maybe 20, 30 cents at the time, $1, $10, $100. And it was not valued the same as today at 31,000 per Bitcoin. So people lost it. Now, companies are starting to invest in it. People are very interested in it. That's not happening as much, right? If you have 100,000 Bitcoin, you're probably not losing it because that is worth a lot of money compared to where it was before. But you have to remember that the total supply is fixed. Some people have already lost some. You can check every transaction on the blockchain. So that's how you get away from some central authority. These different miners are actually rewarded for mining Bitcoin by verifying transactions. Now, what's happening right now? Why is it falling down right now? Before we take a look at the projections and how much you actually need to own, I think it's important to take a look at this. Why is there fear in the market right now? Well, a lot of different companies, a lot of different banks are saying they see very little demand for crypto. They see it falling down to 25,000. Let's take a look at why they might say this, because a lot of these companies, a lot of these banks were bullish. So, leaked JP Morgan documents have warned over El Salvador's controversial plan to adopt Bitcoin as legal currency, pointing to Bitcoin's low trading volume. So one of the most bullish things to ever happen in Bitcoin, a country literally accepts it as much as the dollar, the US dollar. Now, JP Morgan has spun that around saying that they don't think this is a good idea, that it has a significant limitation on the potential as a medium of exchange. We also have JP Morgan to let clients invest in Bitcoin for the first time a few months ago. So that doesn't quite make a lot of sense. And then look at their website up here. JP Morgan creates digital coin for payments. So a lot of these companies are using Bitcoin or using blockchain in general because they see the future in it. The US created a stablecoin the other day, a couple weeks ago. So a lot of these companies are seeing the potential in blockchain but they're fearful of Bitcoin. Now, is this for good reason? I think it's because of manipulation. They're trying to get your Bitcoin. They want to get this for their wealthy clients and for themselves. Now, there are a lot of different reasons I say that, but let's get into the numbers here. Why would you want to own 0.22 Bitcoin? Why is that important? Well, first of all, let's take a look at how much Bitcoin there actually is and why people would want it. Well, millionaires are becoming more prevalent in the world. There are about 56.1 million millionaires. Now, I think in the future, assuming crypto continues to grow, a lot of these millionaires are going to want some type of Bitcoin to hedge against all the potential inflation, right? Assets are great, but they might want something that's like gold 2.0, and they might want to invest in Bitcoin. Well, not all of them will be able to have a Bitcoin. They won't even be close. So right now, there are 56 million millionaires. There's 18.7 million Bitcoin that are already mined. That would give each millionaire about 1/3 of a Bitcoin. But like I said before, some Bitcoin isn't available anymore. A lot of it is lost. So Bitcoin available is only about 14 million, maybe 15 million. We don't know exactly, but this would give each millionaire only about 0.25 Bitcoin. So that's great. That's great, right? I mean, that's awesome to see that not everyone can have a Bitcoin. But how much do you need? How much do you need? Not how much does a millionaire need or how many millionaires can have a Bitcoin. Well, let's take a look at some different price targets. So right now, Bitcoin's at 31,000. The all-time high is around 65,000. A lot of people think maybe in 2021 we could hit 100,000 by the end of the year. Some people are saying next cycle we could hit 250, 350, $500,000. And then by the end of the decade, some people are saying a million per Bitcoin. So let's take a look at some of these numbers and how much you would need based on these numbers. Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. As you can see, I don't have a crystal ball. So this is going to be projected, right? So the market cap at these various prices, right now we're at about 600 billion. All-time high would be about 1.2 trillion. We would be at about a fifth to a sixth the price or the market cap of gold if we hit 100,000. We would be less than half the market cap if we hit 250. And then we would be about 1.5 times the market cap of gold. It's gold 2.0 if we hit 1 million. Now, what would we need? How much would we need to invest? Okay, Bitcoin to become a millionaire. Okay, so if we were at today's prices, we need 32 Bitcoin. That's not achievable for most people, honestly. Most people don't have $1 million sitting around to get Bitcoin. But we're going to go through some DCA examples here in a second. So in this scenario, you need about $1 million to put in. In this scenario, you need a lot less. But again, most of us don't have the money to put in 15 Bitcoin or to buy 15 Bitcoin today. And then all the way to 2030, you could buy 1 Bitcoin today. And if we hit 1 million, you would be a millionaire. But let's talk about dollar cost averaging, because again, most of us can't go out and buy a full Bitcoin today. So how much would you need if we went from where it is today up to $1 million? We'll go through each of these. So if it stayed at 31,000, how much would you need to dollar cost average every single year? How much would you have to put into Bitcoin? Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, and they've said this in my past videos, hey, I don't have this amount of money. Well, to be honest, not everyone can be a millionaire in a certain cryptocurrency, right? Even with very bullish scenarios, not everyone can be a millionaire. If you're making $10,000 a year, you're probably spending most of that money, and it's going to be very hard to become a millionaire. So this isn't for everyone, but let's see how much it would take. So if Bitcoin stayed at the price it was right now, and you dollar cost averaged every single year for about 10 years, you need to put in $76,000 a year. Now that's a lot, right? But that's assuming we don't go up in value at all. So you yourself are investing a significant amount of money. You have to invest about $750,000. Now, where am I getting the other 250,000 from? Well, that's from interest. That's from BlockFi. That's from Voyager. Links are down below. But that makes a huge difference over a 10-year time span. That compounds on itself. This is assuming a 5% interest rate, which you can find on those apps down below. Now, if we went from there, let's say we were able to hit the all-time high, but it took us 10 years to get there. Well, you need to dollar cost average about $50,000. So you need to buy $50,000 a year. Now, this still is not great, right? That's a lot of money, but that kind of makes sense, right? I mean, if it goes up and doubles over the next 10 years, you're going to need to put in a significant amount of money in there for it to actually hit $1 million. Now, I believe in diversification, so if I was investing $50,000 a year, I would not put it all into Bitcoin. I'd put it into stocks and other cryptos and real estate and all kinds of things. But from there, we can go down. Okay, if we hit 100,000 by 2030, and then it just exponentially grew from where it is now to then, we would be having to average in about $38,000 a year. But if it hit $250,000, we'd only have to put in 20,000. And then if it hit $1 million, we'd have to invest about $6,850 every single year for 10 years. Now, if you could buy, $30,000 today, you wouldn't have to average in that much, right? You wouldn't have to put $69,000 in. But where am I getting this 0.22 number? Well, if we put in $6,850 today, you would be buying about 0.22 Bitcoin. From there, you continue to average in and year out until you get to investing about $68,000, and you'd have about $1 million worth of Bitcoin by 2030 if we hit $1 million per Bitcoin. Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an analyst. You have to do your own research. You have to make sure that you are diversified. If you guys want to see that playlist that I made before on the different cryptos and how much you would have to become a millionaire, you can check out the link down below or on the side of the video. We'll see where it is, whether it's up there, down there. You can check it out on the end screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, check out those links down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.